Hey, how's it going?
Am I good to walk through here?
Yeah, do you have 5 minutes for a short interview?
Sure.
Okay, do you mind if I record it?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna tilt the camera up in that case. Just gonna ask that you stand slightly to your right. That is perfect. Okay, awesome. My name is Edison. I'm gonna wait for the wind to die down because the audio quality will be terrible otherwise. Okay, that's a little better. My name is Edison. I'm currently videoing people for my senior thesis project. What's your name?
My name is Jacob with a frame.
Jacob?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice.
What are you majoring in?
I'm a sports cop major.
Cool. Taking anything interesting this semester?
Well, I am taking 2 classes that sort of pertain to my major. I'm taking sport culture comp, which talks about the intersection between sports and culture and politics and various other things. I'm also taking classes that's called Issues in Sports Media, where we kind of analyze, certain things about sports media and why these things happen, traits, trends, stuff like that. So I would say those 2 classes in particular are rather interesting.
That's cool. Do you do any data analytics type stuff with that?
Not right now. I don't know. I don't really take anything of that nature right now. I may next semester or next year or something like that. But as of right now, no.
Okay. I asked because I've got a data science major. So
Figured. My housemates is good.
Yeah. I'm practicing something called street epistemology. So what I'm doing is asking people to tell me something that they believe is true, that they think impacts some part of their life probably, and then you and I will explore that claim together and determine if you have good reasons for believing what you do.
Okay.
So if there's something in your life...
No, I just want to think about it.
Yeah, certainly.
You said you want me to think about something that I believe to be true, even if it's like even if it may not be how do I explain this?
Well, it could be something that you think is obviously true, or something that you're wondering is true. Really, this part of the conversation is toughest because we rarely ask people, "Oh, pick something you believe." If you're still thinking, I have a thought experiment we can do.
You know what? I got some. I don't understand why I think people are so angry about wearing masks, the fact that they don't believe them. And I understand the fact that people, they're tired of wearing it, it's annoying, it's a pain in the butt. But, if that's the bare minimum that we have to do, is that so stinking hard? And that bothers me that not everyone believes like that.
Okay.
It's good enough for me.
So would the claim be we ought to wear masks for our own safety,
Yes.
Despite the inconvenience?
Yes.
Okay. And that would be tied to the pandemic, I'm guessing?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so assuming we're not in the pandemic anymore, you wouldn't suggest we still have to wear masks, for example?
If we're clear, if everything says that we are free to not wear the mask, then I would proceed. But as long as I'm told that a mask can still stop the spread of the virus, I'm going to listen to the people.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
You would listen to the people that know what they're talking about? Okay. Who would those people be?
I would say Dr. Fauci, the directors of the CDC, other health experts, people like that, people that have, studied this stuff extensively and really know what the heck they're talking
Yeah.
about.
It would seem to be that if the experts no longer thought we had to wear masks, then you wouldn't believe anymore that we had to wear masks?
Not that I would or would not believe it. I would trust their faith. I would trust their intuition. I would trust their sense of, belief. I trust them. If they feel that way and they have vetted the process to that extent, then I'll
Okay.
about it.
And then I guess a question I would ask from there is, if the community were divided on that, how do you think that might impact your confidence in this belief?
That's a good question. Well, forget a community. The whole world's divided on this kind of thing, unfortunately, especially in the United States. for me, I tend to stick to my guns. I don't like to let my guard down to something this serious. I don't think it serves me any good or the people that I care about any good.
Could you say that again?
I
didn't quite
I don't
hear
like
you.
to let my guard down.
Okay.
To the standpoint where I don't want to, just because someone else is doing something, that doesn't mean I feel that I should do it. That, I don't think that serves people well, and I don't think that's, how people should live their life. In other words, I think that you should always stick with your gut. Well, not always, but 95% of the time, I think you should, trust your instincts, stick with your intuitions, and do things that you feel will keep you safe. And that's why, even if there were a large mass of people that I was populated with that were not, per se, that were insistent on not wearing masks. And if I felt that I still needed to wear one, I would wear it.
Okay. Would you think that those other people should be wearing masks in that case?
I would definitely encourage them, or I wish they would. I would make them do it. I would force it on them, but I would hope. So.
Okay. At this point, it's been a little longer than 5 minutes, so I did want to open it up at this point just to respect your time. If you had any questions of me, we could explore this further if you want.
Whatever you, I'm all yours, pal. What do you need me to do?
Did you have any questions for me about anything?
What is this for again?
This is for my senior thesis project. So my goal is to have conversations with people about things they believe strongly in, and see if I can have a constructive conversation with someone, regardless of whether I agree or disagree.
That is an interesting project. I remember I did something sort of like this idea for a class I took called journalism skills, where I had to walk around with like a little microphone that you'd pin on somebody, and even though the wire just stand enough distance apart, and I would do stuff like that. I had to do it. It was a little bit of a pain in the butt, but I did it anyway. And so I was just, it's funny because I thought to myself, you know what? I asked people to do something similar to this last semester, and they were kind enough to do it to me. I might as well be doing it.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Did you have any other questions? If so, if not, we could continue investigating this.
I don't believe I had any further questions. No.
Okay.
Do you have anything
I have one more question in that case, and that would be, you were talking about your gut earlier and trusting your gut, and then the other thing you were bringing up was the expert opinion analysis. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, you are correct.
So, in the case where we had a divided set of experts, and you've got to go with your gut on this, at what point, I'm curious, does your gut outweigh some percentage of the expert consensus?
That is a very good question. Let me think here. You said at one point, does my gut outweigh the consensus? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, or some percentage of consensus. Say if the scientists were 90% in agreement that we all ought to wear masks, versus if they were 30% of the scientists were saying that. At some point, those are both points between the two extremes of all the scientists are saying this and none of them are. And if none of the scientists are saying we have to wear masks, then I think you said that you wouldn't think that we ought to at that point?
If it was vetted, I don't go off of, someone who has no idea what the hell they're talking about. That's not how I'm going to trust. I go off of obviously the scientists and stuff like that. So if you said, if that was the case, if the scientists firmly, were like, you do not have to wear a mask, right now or whatever, then I believe them. If I felt, it wouldn't be an easy decision. A lot of stuff like this to me is a leap of faith. Some people make the right choice, some people make the wrong one. That's their decision. It's not mine. It's not my job or thing for me to do to, try and get in their way in that regard. I just have to live with it.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
Okay. Yeah. I appreciate the conversation,
No problem.
Jacob.
I hope I helped you out.
Yeah, I think you did. But
No
thanks
problem.
again. It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, man.
Take
Good
care.
luck with that project.
Thanks.